Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully insert our other cost, right? And if you want to check it in our database table, into the database table, if you click as a browse, now you can see it's now successfully inserted the date, amount, description and the images, right? So if you want to check that images in our images folder, you can see that is successfully inserted two of these images. That means everything is working perfect on here. And now I want to work for our edit option. That means if you want to edit this other cost, how can edit it? In this video, I want to discuss about that things with the live example. So for doing this, I have already added one of the button as edit in our action area. So if you want to update it, we have to create one of the route, and also we have to edit it with a specific one of the ID, right? Now let's do that work. Now go to our view page, into the view page. So that is, I have already created one of the button as a edit. So for the edit, that is our href. Here I want to create one of the route. So that will be as a route, and our route will be, I name it as edit dot other dot cost. Okay, so that will be as a edit other cost. This type of one of the route I want to create, and also we have to pass our ID. That means our this table, that is our other account other cost table, and this ID. So here I want to pass one of the ID. So if you want to access it, that will be, right now we are already into the for each. I get all the data from this table and take the things with this value. So now with this value I want to access our ID field. Okay, that will be our requested ID. Now we have to create this route. Now go to our web route. Into the web route, here I copy it, and that will be one of the get method. I copy it and then I paste it. So that will be our route name. I name it as a that is our edit other cost, and then that is I pass that ID. So I copy it, that will be as a edit, that means edit other cost, and I name it, our URL will be as a other cost edit, and then our method will be as edit. Okay, that means other cost edit. So this type of one of the method I want to create in our other cost controller. So now go to our other cost controller. After that store, I take a create new one, that will be as a public, right? So that will be public, and then function, and then our method name, and that is our method. So into this method area also we have to pass one of the ID, right? So first of all I want to pass one of the ID. So that will be one of the ID. So this ID will be our requested ID, right? So there is the requested ID. We have to take it. So I simply add that this requested ID. So now only we have to find that appropriate one requested ID. So that will be just like our there is a view. So right now that will be just like that same. Better I copy it. At that point I think you already know what exactly the things we did that worked a lot of the time. So I name it as a edit data. Okay, that will be as a edit data. So then our account other cost, that is our model. So with this model right now don't need this. I only want to find our appropriate this ID. So that will be our requested ID. I want to find out this appropriate ID. That's all. So I take the things with this variable as edit data, and then I pass it, and now I want to create one of the page that will be as the other cost edit page. Okay, so this type of one of the other cost edit page we have to create, and here I pass all that our appropriate ID data. That means one specific row ID data. And so now I have to create this edit page in our other cost folder. Now go to our other cost. Here I want to create one of the new file, and now click as a save as, and name it as a other cost edit.blade.php. So that will be our page. So this page will be just like our add page. I think you already know that is our add page. Now I select everything from here, and now in our that is other cost edit page, here I paste it. Okay, so that will be just like that same. Only we have to change that name. That will be the edit other cost, and then we have to display all that value only, right? So that is the amount. So for the amount I want to display that value. Our value will be, I get already all that our data. That means a specific one row data. Take the things with this variable, and here I pass it in our edit page, right? So with this data I pass it. So now I want to access this edit, that means edit data. So now with this edit data, that will be obviously one of the dollar, right? So that will be the dollar and then edit data. So with this dollar edit data, I want to access our database field name. Our database field name as the amount, right? So that will be our value. Perfect. And also I want to add it for our date. That means after this I paste it, that will be as a with the edit data, the date will be visible. So that is all that actually our database field. You can see there is the amount, the date, the description, the image. So now that will be the date and then the image. So image will be just like that same. Here only I want to update that src. Okay, that means this src will be our, if you go to the view page, that will be this one. Okay, so right now I copy it. Better I copy total things from here, and now in our edit, into the edit area, I want to update this part. I simply update. So if it is not null with this value, so right now I pass this all the data with this edit data. So here only we have to update that edit data, the image field, and then there is a cost image. That means that will be as edit data image and upload rather than the our previous one, right? And then there is a white height only will be needed. I don't need to use that any border. I remove this border. Okay, so I simply remove it, and there is a style height. Okay, I have already updated that style, so right now we don't need this style. Okay, I remove that style from to this position. Perfect. So the image will be visible. So that is our image part, and then I want to visible another one. Another one will be our text area. So I copy it. So that is our description for the, if you want to display the description into the text area, here we have to display it. I simply edit with this edit, our field name, description, data will be visible. Okay, and then that will be not the submit, I make it as an update. So that will be the update, and then our type will be as a submit type, and that is our form. So now let's check this out. That's all we have to do. Now if you click as a save all, and now if you go there, now click as a refresh. Now I select as edit. Yes, you can see it's perfect. That means our amount is perfectly loaded. That means our value is loaded, our date is selected, image is also selected, and then description is visible, right friend? That means everything is working here perfectly. So now I want to update. That means if you want to update that amount, if you want to change that date, if you want to change that images, if you want to change that description, and after that if you click as the update, that will be as updated, right? So now let's do that work. It's pretty much simple things in our edit page, and that is also one of the form, right? I want to create another form, and also we have to update it with a specific one of the ID, right? So now I want to change that route. Our route will be as an update. And then in our update other cost, also here we have to pass that our ID. So I pass that all the data as edit data, right? So our appropriate one row ID data. So now I copy that edit data. So now with this edit data, I want to access our database table field name as ID, right? So that will be our route. So now we have to create this route. Now go to our web route. So right now we don't need this. And there is a profile controller. There is other cost. So I close it. Okay, so that is our web route. Into the web route I want to create another one that will be obviously one of the post method. So I copy it, and also here we have to pass that our ID. So that will be our name, or name it as a update other cost. I copy it, and that will be one of the post method. So I name it as a update other cost. That will be as a other cost update, and update will be also with a specific one of the ID, and then I name it as a other cost update. Okay, other cost update. So that will be our method. So in this method I have to create in our other cost controller. Now copy it. Now go to our other cost, and also that will be one of the post method. Make that sure you updated that part. That will be as a post method, rather than it should be get some of the error. Okay, now create this method in our other cost controller here. After this I name it as a public, and then function, sorry, that will be the public, and then function, and then our method. So that is our method. So into this method area, where we have to pass first of all the request, and then the dollar request, because that is one of the post method, and also we have to pass our ID, right? That means our this requested ID. Perfect. And then everything will be just like our store. So right now I simply copy everything. Okay, I copy everything from to this position, that means from our store. So that will be just like that same, and here I simply paste it. Okay friend, and that is our AND method. So that will be as a AND method. So here everything will be just like same. Now we have to update it with a specific ID. That means right now that will be as a find, right? So that will be as a find, and find our this requested ID. So that will be as a requested ID, and then rest of this will be just like that same. Only the images area, as I told you before, I have already removed one thing from here, that means the unlink, right? If you go to our profile controller, into the profile controller, here you can see that is the unlink we have to only add, because when you upload any new image, automatically it should be unlinked. That means automatically it should be remove our previous one. So for the reasons here I copy it, and now in our others, okay, after that image I simply paste it. That will be the unlinked public path. I have already created another folder as a cost image. So now that will be as a cost image. From here it should be removed, right? So that will be removed, and that will be as a cost. So with this cost we have to remove it. Okay, and then everything will be just like that same. Again it should be restore actually this data, and then it should be save this data, and when it should be save it should be display as the other cost updated successfully. And then our return route would be our other cost view page. That means in our view page it should be return direct, right? So friend, that's all we have to do. Okay, so now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now go there, click as a refresh. So right now I want to update that amount as a 1000. Okay, I make it as a 1000. I want to change that date as a 20 December, and choose the new image. So right now I want to use this one. Okay, I want to use this one or this one. Open it. So now our new image is updated, and now I make it as a pen. Okay, pen cost. So this type of one of the description I want to put. Now click as a update. Yes, you can see it's now perfectly updated. That means the other cost updated successfully. Our date is now updated, our amount is now updated, our description is now updated, and image is also updated. And now I want to check that image portion, because it should be replace our old one. You can see there is the two images. That means automatically it's replace our previous one, and then there is our new one. That means we can able to successfully complete our other cost option, right friends? So that is our account management. We successfully complete that our student fees, we successfully complete that our employee salary, and the other cost. That means every portion is perfect. So right now we successfully complete every portion for our account management. So now friend, in our next video I want to discuss about our report management. So into the report management I will discuss about how can create that monthly and the yearly profit, all the data, how can working with the mark sheet, attendance report, all student result, and how can generate that student ID card, right? So step by step we'll cover it. So in our next video I want to discuss about that monthly and the yearly profit. So how can get all that report, and how can generate all that report with the one of the PDF format. In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.